We're good?
Going.
Okay. Now, before we start, is there anything you don't want to talk about? Having any affairs outside?
Yeah, maybe let's not talk about those.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Kisscapades podcast. And I have a very lovely guest with me today. Good friend. I did her first video for the Olive's birthday. Yeah,
The best video that I have.
one of the best videos that I have on my collection as well.
Really?
My birthday rate card. Nobody has hired me for. Let me just put it this way: nobody has hired me for a birthday video.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the rate card that I put, the price tag that I put after realizing, like, yo, I can do this for a baby video.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I've been telling everybody to use you because that just makes me cry every time I watch it, even till today.
That was the whole intention.
Yeah.
But so now, before we even proceed, I want you to introduce yourself so that people can know who you are and what you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Tatiana Karanja, but some of you may know me as Mama Olive, or maybe you just don't know me at all. I don't know. But I'm a photographer by profession, so I do a lot of photography. My passion in photography would be travel, food, and lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also a blogger on my Mama Olive platform, so I talk a lot about motherhood and just my whole journey with my kids and life as a whole.
Motherhood as well.
Yeah, motherhood, product. I mean, I just talk about my life. Anything that comes up
Anything.
in this.
And this is quite a big contrast. You know why? Because do you remember when I was doing with you like your first video, and then you're like, I don't like being on camera.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do, but I still have a problem. I don't know. There's a
come
difference.
on.
There's a difference when I'm like storying myself and just talking naturally than when I'm in this kind of situation.
No, but this is way too different. This is podcast, and after like 15-20 minutes, you kind of tend to forget you're actually
Being filmed.
being filmed. So I mean, just be aware, because I don't do a much of editing here.
Yeah.
But you see, like when I ask you, like, is there anything that you don't want to talk about?
Yeah.
Those are the things that I might actually start.
No, please don't.
Yeah. Because where else do you get the juice? Because like even for me, I'd be like, yo, I thought about it so much, and then I was like, before I start any podcast, let me just ask this person, like, what wouldn't you want to talk about? Then I'll be like, okay. So now I just know that I'm gonna throw them out there, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because the whole reason I started the podcast is just so that people can connect with real life situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Listen. First of all, just why you like this? It can't be that bad. Come on, chill out. So Sonny just left here, and then she was like, "Yo, John, I think you need to edit something out." I'm like, "No." I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Yo, listen. This is just life, and I'm sure by the time the episode comes out, you might be even feeling differently about something, but it's important to have these conversations because so many different people are going through so many different things nowadays. And I think like on Instagram, somebody wouldn't know.
No, I completely agree. That's why
And
I
even
think
for you
my page is very
Yeah.
personal, and I'm very open. I mean, of course, there are things that I might not talk about, but I generally am very open with the things that I talk about because I feel like it's great to know that somebody else is going through the same thing that you're going through, and to like open up a space where you can have that conversation with other people is very important. So I completely agree with you. I mean, even though there are some
I'm
things
glad that you agree with me. I'm glad that you agree with me on that. So let's just start with, the podcast is about the 4 pillars of life. I don't know whether I told you about that. Health,
I think you did, but
health, wealth, love, and happiness.
yeah.
So you already know we're going to touch on all those things,
Okay.
right?
All right.
Which one do you
You
want to
told me
start with?
this at the opening.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like free cocktails. So I think that was really unfair.
So let's just start a bit with what you do for a living. Is it photography, right?
Yes.
That's like your main source of
Income.
Income,
Yes.
and you enjoy doing it as well. Would you say you're passionate, or it's the money that makes you?
No, I mean, I love photography, and I started doing it because I love it. And I think at the beginning when I first started, I would take on a lot of jobs and things like that because I needed the money.
Yeah.
and I just kind of didn't know my self-worth. I think that's, I mean, like a lot of artists.
Yeah, before you just
just
find your own.
Yeah, so that's how it started. But then I think, after getting pregnant with my first child, I was like, there's no way I'm going to let people walk all over me. So now I'm kind of more selective with the jobs that I take on, which also at the end of the day makes me more happy with what I'm doing and makes me also produce better work.
Yeah.
And then apart from photography, I am now starting to make a little bit of money on my Mama Olive page as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is really great as well for me because, I mean, both jobs, like my time is so flexible. Yeah. I get partnerships with people that I really actually enjoy working with. Yeah, I know, it's been great. I got free Pampers. So, for a mom, like, no, I mean, it's been going well.
Good. And you see, like, probably a year ago, we were having a completely different, like, conversation. Yeah. Because because a lot of people don't understand that you can actually make money through, like, just even your Instagram.
Yeah.
In Kenya.
Yeah.
For that matter, because people are like, no, that's just like a far-fetched idea that just works maybe in the States only.
Yeah.
And not in Kenya.
It happens. I mean, people are doing it.
And especially if you're making money with things like, for you it's your kids and just the things that have evolved around like your normal lifestyle. What more would you want?
Yeah, exactly. I get to live out what I love doing and then I get paid for it.
You hear that? I mean, I'm about to start manufacturing kids of my own. And dear baby mama, if you're listening to what she's saying right here, don't ask me for money for Pampers. Do you buy the Pampers?
Well, now I have again, but I mean, during that partnership, I mean, I made money for it and I got like things like that lasted me months and months. Yeah.
Here's the blueprint. You can do it. So just before we get deep into that, like how did you get inspired to do like just photography? Because a long time ago, people used to look at it as like, this is just like a man's kind of job.
I think even a long time ago, it was not even considered a proper job.
Yeah. I mean, nobody took it like. Yeah.
There was no photography in my school offered, and I went to different schools. I mean, I was in school here, I was in school in SA. It just wasn't offered, and I think, it was one of those things when the first mobile phones came out, and I started taking pictures with the phone, and I was like, whoa, I really like this. But of course, I wasn't considering it to be something that I was going to take. Yeah. And my grandfather gave me his camera, which was like a really old Canon, I can't even remember what. And I used to take pictures of wildlife, and I mean, that's how like the passion for photography grew. But I still didn't think about it as something that I would follow. So here I am, like stressing in school. Like school is just not for everybody, okay?
It's not.
It wasn't for me.
It's not.
And yeah, so I was lucky enough to find this course online, and my parents were just like, you know what, go for it. Like follow your dreams and just do, like if that's what you want to do, go and do it. So I was lucky enough to have a really supportive family, even though there were some people around me that were like, well, you should get a business degree in case,
a business degree.
Yeah, like you should do something in case like it fails. And I'm like, you don't tell somebody.
That's not a just in case. That's like, stop this and actually do this.
Exactly, yeah. So I followed through, and I actually didn't even finish. I went to university in the Netherlands, so I went to Amsterdam first, and then I moved to The Hague. And it was a really great experience. I didn't finish uni there either. I still had 2 years left to go.
Yeah.
But I wasn't inspired there. I mean, it was a really great experience. I loved my friends. I loved the school I was at. I learned a lot, but I wasn't happy.
What were you studying?
Photography.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But I just wanted to come home. I really missed being home. And like my dad had a really huge problem with it that I'm not finishing. And I was like, I'm going to show you when I get home what I can do. And as soon as I got back, I interned for Emmanuel Jambo. Then I started doing it on my own, and it's worked to date.
Actually, Emmanuel Jambo was just here like a few episodes ago, and he was saying like, like how he speaks highly of you.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Look at you. Wow.
Might have to give him a call.
Yeah, speaks highly of you. Poppy.
Yeah.
Who else? And Emmanuel just made a whole different blueprint to how like even photographers locally can start getting paid way better.
Yeah.
And being taken more seriously. Because before him, we were just using a lot of photographers from either SA, UK or the States.
Yeah.
But after he came all in, he's all African, he's super creative, and he just brought a whole different like ideology of like just an
Photographer,
like
yeah.
an African, like an actual African photographer.
Yeah, but
And-
you'd even be surprised at how many amazing photographers we have in Africa. And I
Yeah.
had to go outside to kind of figure that out. So now when I'm in Holland, and we had this thing weekly where we kind of present a photographer and how they inspire you.
Yeah.
And mine was always an African-based
Are you
photographer.
already doing seminars in Holland? What
No,
are
no,
you
no. I
talking
mean,
about?
at school when I was there,
Oh,
we had to
yeah.
do this weekly
Okay,
thing.
like, yeah.
Yeah, and people would get so irritated at me, like, we're in Europe now, kind of.
Oh yeah, they don't
got-
understand. How are
yeah.
you trying to tell us that
Exactly, but you'd
Oh.
be surprised. We have so many amazing people.
Amazing.
I think photography is just now getting tapped into. Or-
Yeah.
yeah,
And everybody now, if you finish school, you're getting a camera.
yeah.
It's like Oprah is out here handing out cameras. Everybody gets a camera. So, but how do you find like your lane? Because how would you describe the kind of photography you do? Apart from, we'll still go back to like the Mama Olive
Yeah.
and a family and whole lifestyle photography that I've seen is completely different.
Yeah.
But what lane did you pick for your photography?
You know what? I'm still evolving, so that's something that's every day. I know, like, even in school, and even a lot of photographers say that you should find, your creative style or your,
Yeah.
like you said, lane, and
Yeah.
go for that. And I think I'm still learning so much from different people on a daily.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like you need to find like one specific. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, okay, let me put it this way. What do you enjoy more when it comes to photography? Oh yeah, that's just the screen. That's
Oh.
just the screen. No. So yeah, what I was saying, like, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, what do you enjoy more?
Okay, so, well, I love
Taking pictures of food
food and travel.
and travel.
Yeah, that's my main. And then obviously now, since I'm a mother, taking pictures of my kids has maybe
Yeah.
got them.
And
to
that's
the top
like
of
the
that
best thing, to have like a mother who's a photographer, because
Yeah.
your lives are gonna be
Documented. I don't know if it's the best thing or the worst thing. I don't know if my kids are gonna love it or hate it.
No, when they're like teenagers, they'll definitely hate it.
Yeah.
But once you grow old,
Yeah.
you'll start appreciating it more in a very different way. Like, at least
100%,
mom has like a whole archive of all these little steps that we took, and
Yeah.
and you're a professional photographer. It's not.
Crappy photos.
So sorry to say, the other moms who just take like with like a phone and that's it. You take your time, make sure like the background is good and everything.
Can I just put a shameless plug in there?
Yeah.
So there's this company called Photo Nzuri, right?
Uh-huh.
And they make albums straight from your phone pictures. And I just discovered it the other day, and they have a photo app as well. And I just think it's a freaking great
Wait,
idea.
where are they based?
Kenya.
Ooh.
So that's an amazing idea, because
Okay.
all you do is send your photos, make the album. I think it has to be a minimum of 24 photos.
Yeah.
And then they send it to you, and it's so reasonably priced.
How much?
Like, I think if something like 650 bob for an A5 24-page hardcover
I know
book.
that's okay.
Something
That's
yeah.
super decent. It
Yeah,
means
very
basically
decent.
anybody can do that. And
Anybody
what
can make a
better
book.
way to?
Yeah. Because where are your phone pictures going? Nowhere.
Nowhere.
So all you have to do is take pictures, put them up, upload them to the app, get it delivered to your doorstep.
They have an app.
Yeah, they have
Okay,
their
so
own app.
I'll just make sure I download that app before
Yeah.
we even leave here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking about like just even you said food photography and travel, right? And I told you like there's somebody who also came here and they spoke highly of you, and they said you've been a very big influence to them. And if it wasn't for you, I'm not lying. Why?
That's making me so
I'm not
happy.
lying. They say that if it wasn't for you, they had a very hard time finding like their own lane.
Okay.
And they say they respect like you, and think is what's the other lady's name who does like food? Okay, I can't remember if he said that you're both friends, but he said like specifically you. And this Sunny Sun.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's made me so happy.
Yeah. He said like him. I was like, what? Tatiana? We're talking about Tatiana?
Why are you getting so shocked?
No, because I wasn't expecting, because I've never seen like even bumped into you guys anywhere together, so I
Yeah.
didn't know that he knows you like that.
Yeah.
So for him to say that, and Sunny Sun takes amazing pictures.
Yeah, his food photography
Yeah.
has just
amazing. And he's saying like, because I couldn't like, I have never seen you guys together or seen you guys behind the scenes working together.
Yeah.
So that caught me off guard, and I was like, yo, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those. I think if I remember correctly, we met through Mandy, I think. You know, and then you run into each other at these food events and stuff like that, and I follow him on Instagram, he follows me, so it's one of those things that we
You're
you
both
feel like
foodies,
you know
and
each
it's like
other. So yeah, it's one of those, and I love his food photography, and I'm like
He's
always
amazing.
yeah, he's really great. So that's a really nice thing to hear. Yeah.
So I mean that's a good thing to hear.
Yeah,
first
very,
of all,
very
and
nice,
I mean
yeah.
just getting from. Do you get similar DMs with people who are trying to just get in like the same line of work that you're doing?
I
and
do. I do get a lot of messages like that, and I just don't know how to reply. Yeah. So a lot of people asking me
You
like,
can
I'm
do
starting
anything you
food
want,
or
but just stick close to the mic.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, just like help me out. What camera should I use and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And for me, I find it very difficult to kind of reply to these emails because it's such a personal journey. And
there's no specific,
thing I should tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, firstly it's your eye. Like you have to be unique in what you do and like very confident in what you do and just be happy before. You shouldn't let other people kind of determine your photographic style, and that's what makes you so unique, and that's what makes people want to use your work.
Yeah.
So for me, and I just don't feel like I'm at that level yet to start teaching people, even though I've gotten a lot of requests.
You can inspire. I mean, it doesn't need to be like direct, because I've gotten like, speaking of that, somebody asked me yesterday like, yo, I have a team of media guys, 4 of them, I want you to train them. You see,
Wow.
I don't have a specific way that I can take these guys through a course like you. And these are people who are already like doing like regular 8 to 5s, that they know how to operate.
The camera.
But she's like, no, I want you to train them how you do your thing.
Yeah.
Like make it more, funky and not just like the same old boring shots and everything.
Yeah.
So like even for me, I don't have a specific formula on how I can do that, but all I need to do is like just sit down, look at what I enjoy doing, and just give them like small tips and a blueprint of it, and that's it, because there is no specific course for doing this. I don't think there is, especially with the digital platform. Everything keeps evolving every single day.
No, I guess that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's intimidating. I mean, you don't want to like.
It's like a whole responsibility dumped on you, and then you're like, yo, you don't want anything to go wrong.
Yeah, then their whole career is messed up, and they're like, well, Tats, I took your advice, and I'm like, hold up.
No, but I think from where you are, you do amazing work, Tatiana.
Thank you.
And I've seen you like even just how you pay attention to everything that you're doing. I'm surprised you haven't taken pictures of
I
your
was
food.
thinking about that, but you took my phone to charge.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it's very tricky, but at the same time you have to understand that uncertainty is always there. Like even for me, I always have it there, but even throughout the podcast I've realized it's something that's always there with everyone. But that should never be what a client should ever see.
Yeah.
Or even just somebody who looks up to you, because they'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming to you asking for, you're like, yes, there is no specific way, but what I'm doing, like, because for me, when you come and ask me about my video, I'll be like, yo, bro, trust me, I got you covered. You remembered when I told you, like, the birthday, like, I got this covered.
Yeah.
And my whole intention is like, yo, I want to make sure that if somebody sees this video, they get the emotional story
It was
telling
emotional.
that was in that video. Yeah. And even for me, it was hard when I was shooting it, because like I was trying to capture all those moments, when people are crying, their
was
hugs,
somebody crying.
and everything. Like, people are crying so much. I was like, what? What the hell is this, man? What did I get myself into? But now when I went to edit, I was like, yeah, now this makes more sense. And I had so much fun editing it, because I was like 100% sure, like if anybody who sees it just triggers those tears like immediately. But you see, like I have that confidence, because I can just tell when I'm shooting, like, yo, even though somebody else can do it this way, I don't think they can do it like the way I'm doing it right now.
Amen.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, don't be afraid of all those responsibilities. It's like when a company is coming to you for partnership. You're not used to this, so you're like, maybe if it's your first partnership, you're like, yo, this is
Crazy.
a whole other different responsibility. Like, yo, how do I do this without making them feel like, I'm not sure about what, but they've already spotted that in you.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have any self-doubt, because everybody is like always has like, something new that they're trying to learn, and I think that's where the self-doubt will always come in, because I don't know how to do this yet.
Yeah.
But it's a learning process. Once somebody comes to you, they're like, yo,
There's something.
she has it covered.
Yeah.
Tatiana got this. Don't
Yeah.
worry. She has it handled.
I guess maybe I should just be sending out messages with like a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Like,
Just,
listen, these are my tips, but just
but
know.
just, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. And now they'll be so confused and even more confused, because there's so many people online that people look up to. But if somebody comes specifically to you, just give them that. Trust me, it's a guarantee, because you're already living proof.
Yeah.
You're living proof that you're doing it. So don't give anybody like advice.
Man, this
'Cause
podcast is so good for my ego.
Oh,
Maybe we should do this weekly.
I will do it more often. Because think about it this way. People like who inspired you? Who are some of the people who inspired you? Let's say Jambo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
See?
I mean, that's exactly why I wanted to intern with him.
Yeah, like even just working with him, and even with him, like when you watch the podcast, there's some things he'll still be like, yo, I don't have the answers to this, but the confidence that he exudes when he's there and talking about what he does and everything, he's like, yo, he's giving you that assurity, like this
Yeah.
is gonna be done proper.
Yeah.
If I'm giving you this price tag, I know I'm giving you this price tag.
Yeah.
I got you covered.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
I-
I also
well-
read something the other day, sorry, as you're saying that, like that
Before
was so...
before you forget, do you think you wanna take care of the baby? Or she's good? Is she good? We had to take a small commercial break. The baby was hungry, but Tatiana was hungry, yeah.
Oh, those are good.
So yeah, we were just talking. Oh, no, those wings are one of my favorites. So we're talking about how, what were we saying? There's people who inspired you, like in your journey, and how like somebody like Jambo like exudes that confidence. Like, you know, when I'm giving you this price tag, I know I'm giving you this price tag. It's because I'm gonna deliver this, and it's gonna give you that impact or output that you actually wanted in your work. So I
The
mean,
quality, yeah.
and quality, yeah. So apart from Jambo, who else, like, would you say, like, you know, has been the biggest influence in?
So one of the biggest influences I've had is Mariella Fura. And
Who's
she's
that?
She's a Kenyan photographer.
Kenyan?
Yes.
No way.
Well, Lebanese descent, but I mean Kenyan. Like she grew up here.
No, like she's even here right now.
Yeah, and she's a documentary photographer. Her style of photography is not my style of photography, but she inspired me so much just because she. Oh man, you should just look at her work. I think after this, just go and look at her work because she's really big. But basically,
Is she your friend?
she's a family friend. So
Okay,
that's
so
one of
now
the-
you know you have to get her in the podcast, right?
No. I swear to God, it was just because, I mean, she's one of the people that I saw doing something that I wanted to be doing. And her work was also so amazing. And also the stories that she tells are so touching. Like, I mean, it's something really close to her and it's really heartbreaking. But I mean, she was really opening your eyes to a lot of the stuff that goes on around the world, which, you know, I mean, it's
Makes
deep.
you look at have photography in her hands, just have like a deeper meaning to it.
Yeah, like she has
just
a
taking
very
pictures.
yeah. I mean, I don't think you need to be a photographer for either reason. I mean, whether you want to tell a deep story or whether you just want to take beautiful photos, it's up to you. And I respect either side. But yeah, she's like photojournalist, documentary photographer, tells the most heartbreaking stories, and her images are amazing. And
Heartbreaking?
Yeah, I mean, there are
Or
some
like-
stories that you see. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
also
yeah.
because she's a photojournalist, so she's covered a lot of heartbreaking stories, and also, you know, sexual abuse in children, you know, a lot of things. And yeah, she's just amazing also because it's somebody that I've known growing up, and then I thought, you know, I want to be like her.
Yeah.
Knowing somebody that close to you that's doing something that you want to do is also just, you know, it motivated me a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that was actually my biggest inspiration
Wow.
when I first started.
When do you think was the first time that, you know, after like just maybe a gig or a photography job, or after just something that you did, an experience that you had that made you say like, you know what, I'm actually think I'm going all out with this?
Wow.
Even just taking that leap, like, you know, telling your parents like, yo, I want to go and study like, you know, photography and art. What triggered that?
Well, I think, like I said, like school is just not for everybody. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, that was just my case. Fortunately or unfortunately, that was
But
just
you
my
know, you can't
case.
tell your parents that. That's not a conversation you're gonna have with your mom. Like, mom and dad.
Oh, but that's the kind of parents I had. So
You
that's what I'm
told them
saying. I'm
that?
really yeah, I just said, I didn't say school is not for me. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just said, like this is something that I am finding really amazing. I'm loving doing this.
Yeah.
And I think they saw that. And they were like, you know what, just go and follow that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm lucky because I have both my parents are the kind of parents who would allow me to kind of follow anything that I would want to do. So, I mean, it could be the silliest thing that, I don't know, that I could think of. But they
Like
would
a
still
clown?
Yeah.
They'd
My
still
parents would,
promote
yeah.
that?
I mean, I think maybe my dad would have a
Those,
harder time than my
those,
mom.
those are very supportive parents.
No, but they are because I mean,
Yeah.
I think yeah. I'm really lucky with
Okay,
with my
that's
family. Yeah.
and that's also, I think, for a lot of artists they struggle with that because most parents wouldn't take it seriously
Yeah.
from the word get go.
Yeah.
Like like if you just told them like I want to go into arts.
Yeah.
Not so many parents are always supportive, and at times it has to be like you be a rebel, go and do it, and actually once you start succeeding in it, that's when they're like, okay, now we understand why you
Yeah.
wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't your case.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
So what about like maybe your friends? Did they think? Because even in art, because I'm an artsy person. Maybe
Yeah.
you have friends who like clock in and out. They're always in suits and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have supportive friends, or do you have like those friends who are like, yo, you need to figure your shit out, Tatiana?
No, I mean,
Young
I had a
leader.
lot.
I mean, come on. Come on. Are you telling us you'll just be taking this? So, I mean, is this like a nice thing to do for a retirement plan? Did you ever have one of those? I had one. I've had those
Friends?
all
Yeah.
along. Yeah, all along.
mean-
Like people are not sure about what you're doing, and they're
Yeah.
like, until they need something from you, and then you give them like,
Yeah.
your rate card.
No, I think that I've had very supportive friends. Not I think, I know. I've had very supportive
Yeah.
friends. So in
Oh,
that,
lucky you.
Yeah, very lucky. But then also I know I have friends who may have been like, oh, I don't know what she's doing,
Yeah,
but
we're
would never
not
have
sure.
told me
Yeah.
to my face,
Oh, okay.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, I know I've had those kind of friends, but I think now that they've seen what I've been through and where I am at now, that
Yeah.
they completely understand what
Yeah.
what I've been doing with my time. But yeah, like I said, my closest family and my closest friends very supportive, so it didn't really matter what anybody else was
So
saying to me.
it's also very important, I think, as an artist to either surround yourself with either, first of all, positive, or people who just understand what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, not
Or
even
people
with
have
your
the same
profession, in
interests.
life.
Just in life, just being positive.
Yeah,
Because it might not be something that you understand, but if you support this person, you just never know. And
yeah,
what I've come to learn with life as long, people who are very consistent with what they do, it's always evolving into something that it's always growing into something.
yeah,
It's always growing into something. And I think I've also like just even seen that with you. Because I remember, and that's why like even on the Instagram, I'm asking you like, what Instagram account am I
using
Cause the one that I honestly that I've been following for the longest time was
Tatiana Karanja.
so even when Mama Olive popped up, I wasn't sure whether, are we supposed to follow this, or is this for just family members? Are we invited in this segment as well, or?
Yeah, so basically, my Mama Olive is more of my personal life, my motherhood journey, just life in general. And I really wanted to keep the two pages separate because I wanted my Tatiana Karanja page to be professional photography page. And I don't want to mix that with other things. I mean, if people come and see my page, I want them to be like, wow, this is a professional photographer.
Yeah.
I don't want them to get confused with all the other stuff that's going on in my life.
Yeah.
And then my motherhood journey is completely separate to that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
So what's the like projection like in your photography career, since we're just talking about how we're making ends meet and everything? What's like your projection, like what are you thinking of taking on next, or thinking on, because Mama Olive opens a whole new ball game, that
So
partnering with even cameras for family pictures,
that's exactly how I want to tie it together.
phones
That's exactly
taking family pictures.
I have
Tatiana,
so many things. So I have, so my thing is, I want to
And I
tie
like
it in a
that. I
sense
like that.
where if I send a proposal to somebody, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have on my website I have a travel series,
Yeah.
which is like my professional photography website. I have a travel series,
Yeah.
and then on my blog and my Mama Olive page, I have also traveling as a family. So how I want to tie that together is, if I send out a proposal, I will do a professional shoot or a professional write-up and photo series about it. As well as that, I will do like the whole, like, I'm coming with my family, and you know, this is what happens, and this is what you do as a family, or this is how you travel, or tips and tricks for the, you know, like there's so many ways to tie it together.
There's so many different ways, and I think, I mean, it just comes with time, I guess, because like I've said, 2 years ago, I'm sure you were not seeing like all these things that you can leverage with.
No.
But like right now, you're like, oh, there's so much. There's so much that I can actually, and even like for me, that's the thing, because you know, I'm always creating content, right? I don't mind shooting all the other things because amazing. I love doing them.
Yeah.
Because first of all, the checks are always good for making like content for other people. They keep you afloat with you know, all these artsy vibes and stuff. Not every time it's gonna be a guarantee. It might go dry if things happen, like you know, remember like when the elections thing happened. I was starving. I was starving in the house. I was like, there's nobody who's gonna call me for content. That's guarantee for sure. So I was like, oh shit, I'm doomed. But you see, like those all those little things. But now that I've started my whole podcast thing, not everybody understands what exactly it is. But in my head, I'm like, this is opening so many other doors. Meeting new people, I can create partnerships with them, and just having those conversations. It's not just for me, but it's also for other people. And I'm guessing even for you, now even when you're doing like your content and the partnership that you're talking about, it's the impact that's more, that even keeps you
100%. I mean, like my page is definitely more about connecting with people and then kind of just helping each other out. So definitely the impact is more important to me than anything else. And then also, I mean, just a lot of people help me with like my day-to-day. So anything that I'm going through, any positives, negatives, I'm getting a lot of support and help from a lot of people around there. Friends, family, but then also the people. You can
always call me too, right? You can always call me too. Why am I being secluded from when, like, you know, a lot of people supporting? You know, I can support you.
How can I? How?
Listen, I'm not even lying. I won't even lie. I thought that's maybe like a family, like just segment, because I was already following Tatiana. I was like, okay, maybe she's opened this for just specifically, you know, just family and stuff. I mean, but I will follow it right now. Plus, I won't even lie to you. I got to my maximum follow, which is 7,600 or 700.
You have a maximum amount you're allowed to follow?
Yeah, at 7,700. Like now I have to unfollow people to follow.
Why? Because after so many in the first place? I'm
inspired by a lot of different people.
Wow.
And I support a lot of people. And here we go, like somebody like you has like 2 or 3 accounts. I'm following 3. How many other people have like even ghost accounts? And but all my inspiration is from people like on Instagram, YouTubers, a lot of people that I see overseas, and they're super humble, they're making money, they're creative. Those are the kind of people that I follow. Because, you know, it's also very difficult in Kenya to like just get people who are grounded. Because a lot of people, once they get their breakthrough, I think it's just because of the trauma they faced when they were still struggling. Once they get their breakthrough, they're like, oh shit, peasants, please do not disturb me. I do not. And I understand.
Done that. I'm out of there.
Yeah. They're like, but I understand. Like, you know, it's just like PTSD, man. Like,
but I don't understand, because sometimes like these are the people who have helped you get to where you are. So you need to, you need to stay humble.
But you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've even come across, because as long as you're doing content and stuff, you'll always meet people. You're like, you know, why is this person like just
behaving like that?
Behaving like this. I don't really understand you. Like, I'm important too. Like at some point I'll have to remind myself, like, I'm important too. I don't have to go through this. So either have like a mutual respect and just work, or, you know, we don't need to create that negative
100%.
environment.
But when you start feeling when people start behaving like that towards you, then it's just time to move on to the next. I've even realized with clients, like, it's not worth it.
Do you ever drop some clients?
So since giving birth to the girls, I don't really
entertain.
I mean, if you're not gonna pay me what I deserve, if you're not going to value my time, if you're not going to respect me, then like what are we doing here together? I have better things to be doing with my time. I could be at home with my daughters,
Spending time with people that you actually care legit about.
Exactly. I don't need to be spending this time with you. You know.
Yeah, and it's it's also like it's tricky, especially in an industry like even photography, video, influencer world. I mean, especially we're in Kenya, right?
Yeah.
What are some like of the just hold on, first of all, just hold on. I mean, let me just make sure. Oh no, let me ask, what are some of the hardships that you'd say you've faced are there some people that you've actually had to shake down for checks
man.
that
Oh man, like
now talk about it.
I don't even know. Sometimes I'm really, really shocked at how people operate.
Oh yeah,
I
do
need
you want
to
to take?
feed. Yeah, sorry.
Take a break.
Commercial break.
Commercial break, guys.
They want me for a shoot on 4th of May. Today it started off so shitty, but now I'm a completely different person.
Positive vibes, but funny thing is, doesn't it feel much better when you actually figure out like your value, and then you start just getting those phone calls from people who actually understand what exactly you want and what you're all about.
100%. Actually, this is how my year started. Because like at the end of last year, I had a really rough period. Not work-wise, just like my life. And then suddenly...
listen.
Yeah.
Before you even proceed, we're going to talk about that. You know that, right?
Oh. Okay. Okay.
That's the same thing Sony started doing, like when she was like, and the Sony normally has like a poker face.
Yeah, she does.
She just started laughing. She was like, oh my God, what did I do to myself? But yeah, so you're talking about, just the way the year started off, like.
Yeah, so it just started off like, you know what happened? I just started asking for things and I got them. And I just think, you'd be surprised at how easy it is to just fall into a thing of like, oh well, no one wants to use you, or not even like that. It's so easy when you start asking for things how much happens in your life that you just need to take that step. And then as silly as it seems, like even just asking, I mean, I went to Diani for like a whole work trip with Mama Olive, like a whole week. I went to visit a different restaurant. Like I asked for that trip, it happened.
And
I don't even know how many things this year I can tell you that I've asked for that have happened, and it's been amazing.
And it's just the beginning of the year. We're still not even mid-year or anything.
Yeah, exactly. We're March. Oh, we're April.
We just got in April.
So
no, but we don't need to say April. You know why? Because do you know when this episode is gonna?
We're September.
Yeah. No, but basically, what we were talking about earlier was, I was asking you about the frustrations that come with the job as well.
But that's now I've learned. It's also
with things like pay, knowing your value, and clients who are like, they're calling all the shots, changing your creative ideas and everything.
Yeah, that definitely used to happen a lot to me, especially that thing of like, I'll just give you an example.
Are we gonna play hide and seek with the microphone?
Sorry.
No, we can do it. You just tell me. All you need to do is just tell me, like, you know what?
To you.
Yeah.
Like there's an example. There was one shoot that I did for a family photography, and it was like an event. It was somebody's like 80th birthday or something, and I took such great shots. Like, when you look at your work and you're like, wow, wow, Tats, that's freaking amazing. Yeah. And I think I sent in something like 250 for a 3-hour event. And if like as a photographer, that's a lot of images. Yeah. And good quality images. I'm not just talking about like documenting
that's
the event.
Crazy amount of images, first of all.
So I sent in a lot and really good work. And this person was like, they got back to me and they're like, we love the work, but we were thinking there's going to be like over 1,000 pictures or something silly like that. And I was just like,
1,000 pictures? Who does 1,000?
We were expecting a lot more pictures.
Even in the Olympics, people don't do 1,000 pictures.
Honestly, I was just like, I'm not one of those guys in town who just takes with their camera like 1,000 and then you go and pick from the.
Even they don't do that. Even for them, they don't do. They print 1, 2, and then ask you like, okay, how do you need any more?
Yeah.
They won't get to those numbers.
Yeah, so I don't know. These kind of things happen. And then also at the event, one of my pet peeves is like, oh, come take a photo of this and don't forget that. And we're doing this. And I'm just
I never do that.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's so annoying. Like, you've hired me for a reason. I know my job. If the people who hired me had a brief, that's what I'm looking at. Like, people at the event should not be telling me what I should be doing.
I wouldn't even talk to you if we didn't talk to you, if you didn't brief me, or if you didn't call me and talk to me about that check.
Yeah.
I'm not even listening to you.
Yeah.
I'll be like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Take that with your phone. Take that with your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Take that with your phone.
I hate that. And then also, is the lighting okay? Like, shouldn't you be doing it this? I'm just like, you know what?
No, and
Please.
I can never have that discussion, and it's crazy. But now that you're mentioning it, at times it's also. But you're a nice person. That's the thing. You're nice. You're a super, super nice person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try and deal with it as best I can, but it's really a pet peeve for me.
It can be taken advantage of.
Yeah, I definitely get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
But like I said, since I gave birth to both my girls,
now things are changing.
I
Things are
have
changing.
school fees,
Yeah.
vaccination. I mean, I don't have time
Yeah.
to be having these arguments with people.
No, you have so many other things to deal
Yeah.
with. And okay, when it comes to how about things like, I'm always asking this, all the artists, everybody who just comes in and does something different.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing freelance, we all definitely have to have that conversation about money.
Yeah.
Like, have you gone through that process where, you know about those delayed payments?
Oh my Lord! And you know what? What's the worst thing? Why is it always like the big companies who have money that don't pay you?
I think they just do that just to mess with your head.
Or going through an agency.
Or agencies are the worst.
That.
I will pay you after 90 working days.
Yeah, nonsense.
Just
nonsense.
come get your check in December.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And then the thing is, like, as a photographer, there are times where you're like, this is a good job. Okay, so they're saying they're going to pay me after 90 jobs. You have that like debate with yourself. Should I take this? This also might be a good opportunity for me. I do need the money.
Yeah.
But then also they're messing around with me. Like, you have that kind of debate. So there's sometimes that you'll take that job on and then you just hella regret it for like the rest.
Complete for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
It's not even because you'll be frustrated. Nowadays I don't even want to get to that headspace where I'm thinking of the money and the creativity of something that I'm supposed to do for you, the creative work.
Yeah.
I don't want that conversation to affect how I'm going to put out your work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you can't do this, well, it's okay. Because a lot of people normally come with that really famous line of, no, not even that. Our company policy is like, I'm like, yeah, well, that's okay, but my company policy, my company policy says, you give me a down payment and then this after certain.
As soon as I give you the photos, man.
Yeah. Because all companies, nobody should lie to you that that's written law that they can't pay you.
Yeah.
If they need to pay you and if they want to pay you, they'll pay you.
Yeah.
Because we know that, and we know that, unfortunately, when you're starting off and you don't get to hear about this, you don't listen to any videos, or you have people in this platform in the Kenyan market that are talking about these things, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know whether you're getting news. You wouldn't know this is what the company had, this amount of budget for this kind of work. You wouldn't know, but
at the beginning, I definitely was taken advantage of a lot. And I also allowed that to happen because I was just like, oh, you can't pay me this. Okay, I'll take whatever you can. That's like how you start off.
Yeah. And I think what I also realized with time is like, it's something you kind of always know when somebody's trying to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
But you're always like in denial, like, no, I don't think this person is.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. Imagine somebody convincing you that the company doesn't have a budget.
Yeah.
What kind of company
then
is
why
running
are you
without
looking at my photography then?
No.
Go and
how
do
do
it
they?
yourself.
How are they running? First of all, how do they get paid their salaries if they don't have a budget for something small like?
I've been
makes
told
no sense.
so many things you have no idea. Like, there was even one company I was working with. There was one point where there was an excuse under the sun about everything that I did. So you have to hand in invoices with we can't do it now because we have to do it at the end of every month at a certain date. Okay, fine. So the next month comes. Oh, but you've done the invoice wrong, so now we'll have to do it the next month. Okay, fine. Oh, our finance team has changed, so that like any excuse under the sun. And I'm just like, just give me my money. We won't work together again, and let's leave it at that.
Yeah. And even for me, I think I've even forfeited some that I was chasing because I was like, yo, I'll go insane if I keep chasing this man. Because, even the person that I'm trying to get to, I need to go through like 2 security clearances, and even by the time I get there, they're in a meeting or they've gone.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that you can actually do about it because they're like, yo, we have to go through the channel of everything and signatories and everything. But yeah,
wow,
everybody goes
for
through.
one thing.
Yeah.
I was working with an agency, and at that point, they were giving me so much rubbish about giving me my money that I actually emailed the company itself that the agency was working for. As soon as I emailed them, I got an email like 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you have to. And at times now after that, they understand and start respecting in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think once you stand like your ground, you're like, yo, this is just how I work. This is my rate. And payment, I know your company policy says 90. Okay, sir, mine says this. Can we work with that? If not, sour. We don't need. We don't need to.
Yeah, it's not a must.
Yeah, we don't have to. But yeah, I mean, it's very tricky in the industry. But I'm glad we're just having these conversations because it gets to educate a little bit of, or just put the message out there for people who are trying to get in the job market to understand, so that they're not taken advantage of. They can keep like maintaining, or at least even walk in with a certain standard when it comes to pricing and everything. Okay, let me just ask you this. I've also asked a lot of people this because I remember the lowest I've ever been paid for my videography work was how much was it? 1,500.
Wow.
And
wow.
and listen, I was given 500 and then I was given 1,000 after 1 month. I swear to God.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. Yeah. I was like, yo, what the fuck am I doing in this? What the fuck am I doing? Yeah. That's the lowest I've ever been paid. What's the lowest you've ever been paid?
I think I was offered something like 2,000 for a shoot, and then their thing was like, oh, but don't worry, it will only take 15 minutes or something.
Yeah,
it never takes that amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
Secondly, whether
never.
even if it's 2,000, I mean, even if it's 15 minutes,
yeah,
my time, my effort, my schooling for photography, that's all worth more than...
But did they at least pay you after the gig?
I didn't do it.
Oh shit, you didn't do it?
I didn't do it. I'm not about to do a job for 2K.
Shit, I did. Yeah, I did the 1,500. Trust me.
Back.
I don't even know how somebody convinced me, but I actually took the money and I did it. And I was like, yo. Then, but you're like right now, don't come to me with my bullshit.
I've seen your rate card and I don't think that's fitting anywhere.
I know, yeah. But I had to, and I also understood, I think at times, you see, you've gone to college, you've studied this and all these things. You've done your internships, you've worked with so many different... You have to put into account all these. Yeah. All these people add value to you
it's not
as a
only
brand.
Your time. I mean, it's what you've done in the past, your education, your equipment. I mean, us as we're buying this equipment all the time. It's ever changing.
Yeah, and every year as you evolve, like you've said, there's so many other different things that you need to teach yourself.
Exactly. So, just don't take advantage of me. I'm not for it at the moment.
All right.
Yeah. You can do it by yourself with your iPhone. If that's...
Oh yeah, not just take pictures with your iPhone. You don't need to call somebody so that you can exploit them or just make them feel like, because when you do such jobs, you even get confused. You're like, yo, am I in the right field, or am I worth this much?
I've actually
or
had
what does
some
this
clients
person think about me? What do you think of me? When
exactly. I've had some clients though that have been really 100% honest. Like, look, I won't be able to pay you what's on your rate card. This is the amount, but please let me know because I don't want this to affect our
relationship or even just quality of the work you think you can do it.
Yeah, so it's just one of those where, look, I'm completely honest, this is what I can afford. If you can't, it's completely understandable, but
and even at times you'd be inclined to even work with such a person because they're very honest and everything, and then you're like, some extra money, it's somebody who's honest and this is a good relationship because somebody has actually had a conversation with me.
Exactly. But don't be thinking now that's the conversation we can be having.
No. That's not what we're doing. Not what we're doing. So, I mean, we've spoken quite a lot when it comes to just photography and everything. And, the whole podcast is all about balancing everything that comes with it. And we've even seen how you're incorporating even just your kids in general in what you're doing so that it's it's basically doesn't feel like work when you're doing it.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's like me having fun with my daughters, and this is what I'm all. And as you can see, she even brought like the kid to the podcast. Ever since I knew you, like you've always been like,
With a
even
kid.
with Olive.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. Like, but I see how you really want to have quality time with your kids.
Yeah.
Like even if it's when it's working, you take them with you.
Yeah.
And I think right now when they're small, I don't know how old is Olive.
She just turned 2, and
Oh, wow.
Marley just turned 4 months.
Oh wow. So I'm just guessing, like, even when they grow up, all the little memories that they will have, it's just how much time
Yeah.
mom spent with us.
Yeah.
Because you're different kind of mom. You're super mom. Because
Thank
listen,
you.
you're not the one. You're not just leaving. You're not just leaving the kids home and coming
Yeah.
back in the evening.
Yeah.
Not to discredit any other moms
Yeah.
that have to clock in for that 8 to 5. But that quality time with the kids, especially like in this new generation and era, it's really rare.
Well, for
Is
me,
that
I
a
think,
trait you picked from?
my parents?
Yeah.
I mean, my parents were always there for me. Like, if anybody could tell you about, like, for example, my dad,
Yeah.
he would be there for me he never missed one single game, school play, and I'm talking about one. Never
Yeah.
missed one
Ever.
school match, one play, one swimming, whatever it was. He was there at every single thing, and I think that's something.
And even before you finish, I just want to, take a moment and just make the deadbeat dads understand what
Yeah.
Tatiana is saying right here.
Honestly, I don't even think. I mean, without my parents,
Yeah.
my mom also was there for me. Hers was more 8 to 5, and my dad, because he worked with his dad, and they, business. It's not an 8 to 5.
Yeah.
He had more flexible time to be with me physically, and my mom was always there for me emotionally. So got home after her 8 to 5. Made sure I did my homework, made sure I ate properly, made sure everything was done for me, as a kid, you feel it. You feel when your parents are there for you, and I think that's really important for me. And I grew up with very supportive parents, like I said, so I'm able to be where I am today because of them. And I want to be that inspiration for my kids as well, so...
That's deep.
Why do I always cry when I talk about my kids? Even in the video you did at the 1-year birthday.
Yeah. There's so many tears, man. But I understand. But now that reflects even in your actions.
Yeah.
It makes more sense because now I understand why you do things the way you do.
Yeah.
And why you're like, I want my kid to see me doing this. I want to be around with my kid through this whole experience so that. Yeah. And I think that's really, that's very special.
I think this is also like one of the only times that I'll get to be with them both so much, because when they get to like 13, they'll be like, Mom, I hate you, I never want to see you, that kind of age.
They'll get to that age.
They'll get there. They'll get there. While they can't tell me nothing, this is my time with them.
And it's 2 daughters, right?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
You just wait for it. You'll be like, oh my God, I knew it's gonna come, but I'm ready. I was well prepared.
I don't think you can be prepared, because I was bad, and anyway, we'll get there when we get there.
Really?
Yeah, I was bad. I was a bad
At your teen?
Yes, I
Come
was.
on. Really?
Bad, yeah.
Rebel and everything.
I was just wow.
Can you hear
know.
this? Listen, and you know what the funny thing is? You're talking about all these things. Like my dad was always there for me. My mom was always there for me, and they all made and then here you are explaining to me like when
how
you got
bad
to that.
I was.
Oh shit.
I was like bad mouthing. I was like going out till I don't know what times.
Come on, really?
I gave my parents a hard time. I really did.
But now I'm sure, like even after you've gone through all that and everything, I'm sure now, like the level of respect that you have for them. I'm sure it's just
100%.
It's
it's
way different.
Especially when you have your own kids and then you realize the stuff that they went through to just put you where you are today.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely have a different level of respect for your parents. Yeah.
Every single day you have a meal to eat. If you want a T-shirt, if you want to go for a trip.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what they're going through, but they're making sure you get all these things.
Yeah, you make it happen. No matter what happens, like your kids are going to always have the best.
Not missing the games.
Yeah.
Geez. Like they actually still made time.
Yeah.
So I mean, since we're talking about that, and it's basically like I was just trickling down to the love segment. Just give me 1 minute. Let me just make sure the sun is not.
Oh.
As we proceed with the podcast, like you've noticed how I'm trying to throw all these questions about evolving around just family, work, difficulties in A, B, C, and D, but I have to balance it all out. A lot of people normally get to this topic and if you need some extra tissue, we need to ask for tissue right now, because I know you're a crybaby, Tatiana. But no, but okay, let's
I'm
just
emotional.
no. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm an emotional being.
Yeah. That comes with a lot of love. Means you just have a lot of love in your heart.
Yes.
And we're talking about just the love segment. You have 2 kids and everything, and I've always known you to be quite loving girlfriend and girlfriend? No. I mean, how am I supposed to put this? I've known you to be like a lover. Since I know you, I've known you. You've always been like, and first of all, and here I have to commend you for this first of all, because you're one of the few people that I know who are like actually, pushing the love agenda and kids and everything. Just how do you maintain, even just being in a relationship, how do you maintain that?
It's hard.
Listen, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Let's start with why are you laughing first of all.
There's so many ups and downs, and there have been in my relationship as well. It's not easy, and kids throw a lot of
curveballs.
Yeah, in the mix. I mean, you go from having a relationship. That's not my baby, FYI.
Yo, I was just about like, yo, Tats, we need to take a break. Okay.
She's fine.
Yeah.
Like you said, they throw a lot of curveballs. I mean, you go from just being in a relationship of 2 and always, caring about each other and investing your time in each other, to having these beings that rely solely on you for everything. Yeah. So, especially I think as a mother, I can only speak in my experience, but also a lot of what I've read, a lot of your attention now moves from your partner to your babies, and you don't do this willingly. Like I've forgotten about my partner, but it's just such a motherly instinct for you to put all your attention. I mean, these babies rely on you, especially you as a mother. Like breastfeeding, all that stuff is on you. So I think it's a really difficult period in a relationship when you have kids. Yeah. And I've read that also. I mean, it happens with a lot of new parents. You go through a really difficult stage when you first have a baby, because you have to now learn how to be a family with 3 of you. And I'm not saying that there's that, your love reduces for your partner or for your child. It's just a new way of living that you have to learn, and it's difficult. Also, especially because working, having a partner, having a baby, you're taking care of so many things at one go that your attention is kind of now like misplaced, or not misplaced, just placed differently. So just learning to have a family life is very difficult. It's very
easy.
Rewarding, but it's very difficult. Yeah,
okay.
It's really not easy. It's
but
something you really have to work.
How are you managing to balance that out?
I mean,
but you guys are still strong, right?
So we've had our ups and downs, like I've said, and I think.
Why are you laughing, Tatiana? Is there something I need to know?
No, I mean, what I mean is that
you're good though, right?
Yeah, we're fine.
You're Gucci.
But what I mean is like, yeah, we're good.
We're
Gucci.
Good. Yeah, no, but it's just like what you're saying. It's just part
hard.
of life, and even it's hard. It's hard, but like the most important step, I'm just guessing, because if you have kids with somebody, this is not just like a fling or anything. This is somebody you actually truly love and care about.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's somebody. So just because of like all the little curveballs and everything, I know even in the new generation, it might be a lot of people have like that short attention span. Like if this person if things are not going well with this person, like
yeah.
I'm
actually,
out.
I was talking about that yesterday with one of my best friends, and I think that is the problem of today's society. No, not a problem. I think it's both a problem and both beautiful, because we don't have to endure as much from our partners to be able to leave them if there's something really bad that happens. Like, whereas in the past, women would just stay because, you're married and you have to stay, and like people will look at you bad. I mean, there's so many things. Yeah. So I really love the fact that right now you are able to leave whenever you want to, but at the same time, I feel like today we may give up a little bit easier than you would have in the past. Like, we give up on love or our relationship a little bit easier because of where we are today. We're like, well, we don't need this. I can move on if I want to. But relationship is hard work. It's not easy. It's not everyday like happiness. You put in a lot of hard work to be in a relationship and to be in love, and it's every day building that love even deeper and building your family even more. So I think that's one thing that I've also come to realize at this stage, like in my life, that it's hard work, and if you really do love somebody, you're going to put in that hard work. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's been tough, especially that we have kids, and also because we didn't know each other for too long before we had kids.
Really?
Yeah, like it was quick. Like, I mean, I feel like we fell in love with each other really quickly, and
it's that young, nice, vibrant love. You meet with somebody, you're like, and just.
But I've never been in love before, you know. I mean, I've dated people, but I've never. No.
Really?
Yeah. So he's the first person I've ever fallen in love with.
Ever? You've never been like, you've never had like those.
I mean, I've been really liking people, like, and I was happy,
but not that kind of love. That now,
Okay. So I mean, I knew he was the one very early on, and Olive was the best mistake of our lives, but it was not a plan.
I came to to Olive's birthday.
Yeah.
Yo, trust me, that's love.
Yeah, I mean, we really do have love for each other. It's just, you know, trying to balance and then also we're young, and you live in Kenya, and there's a lot of things going on. So, you know, it's been tough, but we love each other, and you know, like, you're gonna make something work if where you love somebody. So yeah, that's, I guess.
You see yourself getting married?
I hope so. You know what? I don't really think I don't need to get married to validate our relationship.
No, I'm just asking. You know, if you know what I'm asking.
No, a lot of people
if you believe
ask me
in
that.
like, you know, because that's like, you know, the whole. It just shows like, you know, that permanent commitment that, you know, till death do us apart,
but
and
that's
everything.
the thing. Like, I don't feel like getting married is like means that, okay, now this is the real deal, because anything can happen in a marriage. And
like
also
what?
Anything.
Like what?
Anything. Just because you have a piece of paper doesn't mean that person will act differently than when they're not married.
Tell me what you're talking about.
Anything.
Like
I'm talking
what?
about just any, like.
Anything like what? You can spill sugar. That's anything. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I just mean, like, anything devastating to a relationship can happen whether you're married or not married. And you don't need to be married to be able to be like, this is real love. Because you could really love somebody and you could really be committed to somebody without being married.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't believe in the institution of marriage.
Yeah,
right?
I don't agree. I mean, I don't believe in the idea of.
It's traditional, of course.
Yeah,
it's a new day and age, and it's quite a new. It's a new thing to like all, like, millennials and everything.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we are fast-paced. We are influenced with so many other different cultures, even in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And people have so many different beliefs. If you have friends who are like maybe from the States, from UK, people just look at things very differently in so many different cultures. And I'm just guessing I don't know. We don't have a script for marriage like old school guys used to have. Like, you know, they'd come into gatherings and talk about this, and like, you know, you two are supposed to live like this. And
and I also feel like traditionally it's also very important for your parents. And right now, I've told my parents, it's like, I'm not doing anything for them. This love is for me, and this is my And right now, like, I'm not going to try and be influenced by other people just because that's what you want for me.
Yeah.
So right now, I mean, I'm living for myself, and also at the end of the day, it's great to have this. I've always wanted to be married, and I think that it's a whole thing of like, you have this big ceremony and you're announcing that you're together, and like, it's just this one
get
beautiful
married.
thing. And
let me come do the video,
you.
Tatiana.
But why not do like just a we are together ceremony where it doesn't have to be signing papers?
We want to see you getting married.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to.
I've seen Tia's shooting the video. Listen, don't make me come shoot that video with somebody else in that frame. It will be really hard for me to.
No, I would never.
Don't put me through that. Don't put me through that. Because now I'll be crying again in a whole different video.
Yeah.
And then people asking me like, why is your camera guy crying?
No, I mean, look, I love Wayne, and it would be great to be married. But if it doesn't happen, it's not a lack of love. It's just that it's not necessary.
Okay.
So I mean, right now we have two beautiful girls together.
Amazing.
And we are daughters. And you know, just we're happy where we're at, and I don't need to do anything for other people. If the time comes when we really want to, and this is our plan in life, then
you can go
great.
with it.
Yeah. And if it doesn't happen, great. Like, I'm happy. You know?
That's not what we're going with. That's not happiness. I know
it is.
No. I oppose that. But
I think you need to get married. That's what you're looking for.
we're good. I just had to confirm that,
We're still shooting.
everything is running smoothly, and just relationships are hard, man. Even just in the
Very.
new era and everything. But with you, I've seen like you, like what I'm saying, like because from what I've seen, very loving. You pay a lot of attention to like just even the kids,
Yeah.
and I mean I know you guys will be able to go through all the hurdles and still,
Yeah.
because
I mean, a family is what I've wanted since I was born. I've wanted 4 kids,
And-
marriage. I've wanted that life, so I'm
Yeah.
really very much family oriented. And I think also because my family is very family oriented, so that's like rubbed off on me a lot. So for me, what is important is just having that loving environment for your kids to grow up in, despite like
whatever
whether you're
happens,
married or not, whatever happens in life, as long as you're,
giving
I
your
just-
kids
stability, love, educate. I mean, just letting them grow up okay, doing the best you can.
Yeah, and I respect and admire that because because even that's the same energy. Even if I was to get in that space, I need to be able to understand, like or even hear like people like you talk about such things.
Yeah.
Or I'll be like, she's doing it, and at least she's giving other people direction to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody who's come to the podcast, everybody's just breaking up with their with their partner. Is like, what? Who are you talking about? I don't know them anymore. Who's that? I'm like, yo, bro, the last time I saw you, she's like, she does not exist anymore.
Wow. Yeah, we've also
But
had
yeah.
our thing of like we broke up, got back together. Like, but it happens, right? I mean,
I don't know.
oh.
I
I mean,
don't
I
know.
feel like it happens. Well, it's happened to me.
You've broken up before?
Yeah.
But how do you deal with that, though? How do you deal with
It's
that?
so
Like,
difficult
how
now
does
having
Tatiana deal with a break? How do you deal with that? Like, just you specifically.
It's
Do you have like friends who like keep
difficult.
feeding you like good?
I have amazing friends who are very positive and just try and uplift me and just want me to be happy, which is
Yeah.
great. At the same time, I have 2 amazing daughters that I always just, when I'm having a hard day, go spend some time with them and they'll just bring you some laughter in life. But it's hard. I mean, there are times where I'm just like, what am I going to do with my life, And I do,
Yeah.
and I think maybe I also do like go through a lot of self-affirmations. I do like a lot of those quotes on
Yeah.
Instagram. Like that's what I'm always checking.
So
just
listen,
to-
once you listen to all the other episodes, you'll just realize, we're all going through the same. So as we just wind up the podcast, I normally ask people this one question. But even before I go to that question, what do you think? What's your take on like just Instagram in general? Like you see so many people getting depressed because of comparing themselves
to others.
to others, maybe through achievements, maybe they're seeing like Mama Olive is here, she's had 2 babies, she still has like a banging body, we don't know how she's losing her baby weight. I'm still pregnant, I'm not even had a kid yet, but I can just tell like this weight is all those things at times, because like let's say for you just posting, right? But there's somebody who's looking at you, who's following you and everything, they're like, yo, how is she maintaining all this? Like just
Well, I think in terms of me posting, I try and be relatable as possible. I mean, I
Yeah.
try and put my problems out there sometimes. Like not
Yeah.
everything, but the tough times that I go through that I definitely have talked about in the past and will continue to share in future, just because I think it's really important for everybody to know we all go through the same things.
Yeah.
So there are things in my life right now that may be kicking off, and there are also like a lot of shitty things that are going on in my life as well.
Yeah.
So I try and be as
You
relatable
wanna
as
talk
possible.
about the shitty stuff? No, I'm joking. No. No. You can save that for the next podcast.
We'll say when I've gotten over. No, but I mean, just generally, like,
Yeah.
what I think is that what I do on Instagram is I follow a lot of positive pages, and I think that's important for everybody. I mean, I don't think Instagram on its own is a bad place. I think it's what you
make it for,
Yeah,
like what you can make it to.
Yeah,
right?
it's also just the same in just real life. Like whoever you surround yourself with has an effect on you as a person. So
True.
you need to just be able to surround yourself with positivity or what you need in your life, both in person and on social media. And I think that's really important because a lot of the pages that I follow are so inspiring to me, and I wake up with like positive quotes and people just doing positive things, and it makes me happy as well.
I'll tell you one page you need to follow.
What?
Kisscapade's podcast page.
I already
Yo.
I already followed that. I've been there.
But yeah, okay, then does Instagram ever get to you? Because I know, like, probably for you, you're just too busy to even pay attention to some of the stuff.
No,
but does it get to you?
Yeah, there are times where it really does get to me, and I think, you know, and then you know when you have those days where you're just looking to kind of hurt yourself more than you're already hurt, you know, like those days happen. Like you'll just be like, well, you know what, I'm gonna go look at this and this page and just feel a bit more worse about my day than you know, like you just self-sabotage. So it happens, but then again, I have a really great friends, a really great supportive family, and then also I just follow a lot of amazing pages that just
give
boost
you that
me up again.
Positive energy and everything. Okay, interesting. Okay, just before I ask that last question, how do you, because I've mentioned it, how do you just take care of yourself? How do you maintain, like, just...
Mentally or physically?
No, physically.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to mentally. Do drugs maybe for mentally? That should help.
That's a very good idea. Very good idea. Put you in a very good space.
Yeah.
No, jokes, lies. Do not listen.
I'm asking about physically, because a lot of girls or women are just normally even afraid of, like, you know, I know if I get kids, it's gonna change my body, and
that was never my concern. I think
a lot of people, like right now, I'm sure even when you hear conversations from other people, that's the one thing that they're even like super afraid of.
I think. No, I never went through it before giving birth or like getting pregnant. I never went through it like, oh my gosh, my body's going to change so much. Because I follow a lot of people who are able to, I mean, this is not like back in the day where you were not able to work out during your pregnancy. And you know, I mean, there's a lot of things from the past that you know that you're allowed to do as you're pregnant. So, but firstly, it wasn't even in my mind that my body would change. I was just so excited to be giving birth to a human being. Really? And I think it's only during the pregnancy when you're gaining that weight and when that stuff is happening to you, and then also you have like all these hormones running through your body, that you start getting those kind of ideas. And I think one of the things that I always had to talk myself through was the fact that I'm giving birth to a beautiful human being, and all of these changes that are happening are for this human being to come into this world. So I shouldn't, I mean, whatever happens, whether I'm like 50 kgs heavier afterwards, I'll deal with it when I get there. But
50 is
but you know what I mean? No, there's
absurd.
some people who gain a lot of weight. I mean, a lot of weight.
Okay,
So whether that happens or not, I mean, my body's doing this for this one being.
For this amazing human being.
So it's okay. Like, I'll deal with it when I get there. And maybe some days it made me feel shitty. But a lot of the time when I'm talking to myself and I'm just like, look, I'm giving birth to this thing that I'm going to love, like, unconditionally, it's okay. You know, you'll have to get over that. And it's not easy, and you can't just tell somebody you'll get over it, because
it's not something really, that you just wake up and, you know.
And also because of all those hormones and stuff, you feel extra shitty about it. But at the end of the day, there are things you can do. You can eat healthy when you're pregnant. Well, you should be eating healthy. You can work out while you're pregnant. You don't have to go overboard while you're pregnant. Even though if you want to, go for it, because you know what, you deserve it. And then as soon as you've given birth, you're also able to work out and eat healthy and maintain a good lifestyle. So it's really up to you at the end of the day to kind of just put yourself...
Do you work out?
Yeah, so as soon as I gave birth to Marley, I was like, I'm ready. And I had to wait for the doctor and my trainer to be like, no, you have to wait for 6 weeks.
Okay,
and then you can start. And I've been doing CrossFit with Wilson at CrossFit Kwetu, and I've been doing a bit of squash, and I work with a nutritionist called Roseanne at Treasure Fitness on Instagram. And she's helped me just make small changes in my diet to make sure that I'm, you know, doing well, like staying on course, doing what I want to be doing with my body. So
of course we can't take that for granted, because I mean, health has to be like even number one in everyone's priority. But what about mentally? How do you...
But you see, mentally, that's one thing. You let your physical health slip, in my case, when I'm going through mental issues. And I think, like you've just said, health has to be one of the top priorities. And if you keep your health in good condition, I think mentally, that also helps you mentally. But it's like one of those cycles you get yourself into. When you're feeling bad, you start doing badly on everything. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically your physical effects, like for you, that they work hand in hand,
Yeah.
right?
If I'm not physically doing well, then I also start mentally, like it adds extra stress to my life. So yeah, when I'm trying to eat right, when I'm getting my vitamins in, when I'm doing my workouts, it makes me happy. And doing a workout in the morning, you know, like you just suddenly guess, you know, your endorphins are running high, and like you just feel good. So that really helps me.
Don't even know what those things are.
Okay, all right.
Are they like chocolate tabs?
Yes,
or what?
yes. It's like chocolate, but like within your body, you know. It's like what chocolate makes you feel, but. So, and then mentally, I think, again, like I've brought this up several times, but just having a really good support system, people that you can talk to, people that you can relate to, and if necessary, also going to see a therapist.
Yeah.
And not even if necessary, it's also, I've heard from people that it's really great even when you don't have necessarily any issues, but just to see somebody to talk, which is also something that I want to start.
Yeah.
Just to see somebody to talk, and like, you know, it will benefit you in so many ways, having a different perspective, being able to be given advice on how to handle different day-to-day activities or different day-to-day issues. It could never hurt. So maybe doing
True.
stuff like that. Yeah.
True. That's, you know, and those are little things that, you know, people can pick up from, because now when it comes to physical and mental, that's just a whole different thing, because there's wait, you're good?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
okay. No, I think it's my head.
Oh.
Yeah. So when it comes to just that, it's just a lot of people need to hear people like you even talk about that, because that's what's gonna like just make and help them go through the hard little times that they're going through.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last
There's
question.
also, a lot of support groups. There are a lot of support groups, and I think it's worthwhile to join one of those, even if you're not communicating, if you're not telling your problems, but just seeing how others help each other and being in that kind of supportive environment is very helpful. So if you can, find some of those support groups and be a
They'll
part of
help
that.
you cope with everything.
Yeah.
Okay, last question that I normally ask everybody on the podcast before they leave is, what's that one thing right now that, you know, like just as Mama Olive, that you're seeking, and, you know, maybe you're thinking about, maybe it's a good job, maybe it's another baby, maybe it's
Nope.
no.
Nope.
maybe it's that big brand partnership, maybe it's like, what's that one thing that you think right now that, you know, you're seeking, or if it would come your way, it would give you like a better purpose, balance, or just give you like maybe a pinch of a bit of happiness? What's that one thing that you think right now you're really pursuing a lot to balance out your life?
Wow.
Oh yeah, I told you the podcast, we go deep. Yeah.
You know what? If I could find a school
Yeah.
to partner with, so my daughter gets free kindergarten,
Yeah.
that would be real nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put those vibes out there. Any school that wants to partner with me, let's.
Put the vibes out there. Listen,
Yeah.
we've talked about like your platform and all other different things that you can do.
Yeah.
It's a school you can partner with for something, and
Yeah.
you know, a kindergarten can be like, you know,
that would take a lot off my shoulder.
Yeah, you know, 'cause
Because
I-
Olive goes to kindergarten at the end of this year, September. She's supposed to
shit.
start. Yeah.
and I hear
yeah.
kindergarten, first of all, it's super expensive
Yeah.
as well, right?
She's in playgroup, and I feel like it's already expensive, and she's not even going to one of the expensive playgroups.
And just like, you know,
So yeah, that would be great. If my year could end like that, I'd be very happy.
think it into existence, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've covered a lot of stuff, and you know, I don't want to drain everything right now, because I can always call you for another segment.
Yep.
You have to go back to your work. You have to, you know, take care of kids and everything. I just keep turning back, and I'm like, yo, I'm sure you still need to go and attend to your kid and everything, and you just kids in general. But I respect what you do.
Thank you.
I admire like just how you make your business moves and everything, because you're leaving also a blueprint from other young women who are getting into such, you know, like field of work, getting their first baby, just you being enthusiastic about a lot of things that you're doing.
Thank you.
And that's what we need to see. It shouldn't be just about like, you know, makeup tutorials, popping bottles. That's good, but that's not the real life that actually these people are going through. We need to connect more with each other.
Yeah.
So I appreciate and respect what you do.
Thanks, John.
And I hope to
really
have you on
appreciate
another
that.
segment as well.
Anytime. This has been really fun for me, actually. Like kind of like a
Hey.
therapy session.
That's what everybody says. I told you.
Oh,
It'll be worth your time.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell my PA to send you the bill. Don't worry about that.
Hey, excuse me. Like, I should be sending you a bill for Mali being here, please.
No, but thank you so much for coming through. I mean, what else do you have going on, and where can people find you?
So it's only those 2 pages. If you want to follow my photography, my professional photography, please do follow me at Tatiana Karanja on Instagram or www.tatianakaranja.com. And if you want to follow like my personal life, if you want to know a bit more about me and my family and just, help me through my motherhood journey, please follow me at Mama Olive K on Instagram or mamaolive.com. Is it mamaolive.com? Yeah, it is. It is mamaolive.com.
And it's updated. You keep updating it?
Yeah, so my blog is not as regular as my Instagram. My Instagram is probably like maybe a post a day.
Yeah.
My blog is when I have something really interesting to say, but I do try and keep that active as well.
Mm.
Yeah, and also that's something that I've been doing more so this year, being more active on that blog. Yeah.
And there are any brands you've partnered with? Do you want to give them a shout out or no? You're good with that?
Ooh.
Or you want that extra
Ooh.
check first before you
Yeah,
mention them?
guys, yeah. Come and look for me and then we'll talk.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. It's been an amazing podcast. Thank you so much for coming through. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe on iTunes, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter as well. Updates every single day, and at the end of the week you get the full episode. It's the Kiskapades podcast. Till next time, goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That was so much fun.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. It's a whole different world out here when you
Yeah, once you take off the headphones.